are set to run one down Tobacco Road. We're at the Deanie Smith Center for the Owens Corning Preseason NIT first round action. Tonight's opponent for North Carolina, the Penn State Nittany Lions. This is a building that just oozes college basketball excellence. They sport 43 All-Americans, and a look now at the latest in a long line of Quasars. Tonight, trading in their high school lore and legend for potential collegiate glory. Trading in their exuberance for collegiate experience. With the man on the spotlight, the white-hot spotlight, the head coach, Matt Doherty, just 2 short seasons ago, the National Coach of the Year. Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Jones, along with Brad Doherty. Thanks for coming aboard, Brad. Ironically, these two teams met a couple of seasons ago in the second round of the NCAAs. Penn State won. Ironically, that started their downward spiral for North Carolina. Might this be the team that they look at against Penn State to get back to where they feel they belong?
I think so, Mark. I think this is an excellent opportunity for a young North Carolina basketball team. We got to remember, though, Penn State has 4 or 5 starters returning, so they have the experience. North Carolina has the excitement, though. The young freshmen, the McDonald's All-Americans. Let's see what they can do. Throw it up. Let's play.
Hey, they use the word potential around here a lot. Here's why as we take a look at our star watch. Raymond Felton already drawing comparisons to Phil Ford. Sean May, the son of the former Player of the Year, Scott May of Indiana, and Rashad McCants already has lit up the opponent for over 30 points in an exhibition game this year. There's a look at the former National Coach of the Year 2 years ago, Matt Doherty. This is the first time, folks, we're witnessing history, the first time in school history that they are starting 3 freshmen. That includes a long line of stellar players here at Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Penn State last season, a disappointing year. North Carolina, well chronicled and documented, 8-20. And we are ready to go. The Tar Heels controlling the tip. This is Felton.
I think Felton has an extra matchup with Watkins. What a move. Oh, nice pass from Manuel on the baseline.
McCants finishes.
Nice pass down low. Big guy May gets the ball, puts it down.
Watkins back quickly. He's rejected. And McCants on the move.
Well, they're off and running early. We know they're going to have a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of quickness on this basketball team. Probably the quickest team they've had in 3 or 4 seasons.
I don't think that Doherty could have scripted a better opening for his crew. They're out of the gate 4-0, off and running.
They're exciting. Rashad McCants out of Asheville, North Carolina. Boom! Good finish. Good hustle. Now, what comes with the youth and the exuberance is you want to make sure these guys don't overdo it. They don't overexert themselves in the first 2 minutes of the ball game. So pick your spots, play smart, play together as a group.
Jerry Dunn said that he didn't want to get caught up in a running game with North Carolina.
Absolutely not. Brandon Watkins, an excellent point guard. This kid right here, Jagla.
Jan Jagla from Germany, the import, coming up short on the jump shot. They're going to try and get him to play a little bit more with his back to the basket in the future. But he has great range, and he commits the foul. Jerry Dunn, in his 8th year as head coach at Penn State, did what no other coach in school history did a couple of seasons ago. And he is the fastest coach in school history to reach 50 and 100 wins.
Jerry Dunn's excellent basketball coach, good basketball man. Does a good job with these kids. Doesn't get all of the McDonald's All-Americans that a lot of these people do, but he does a good job with what he gets.
McCants already has 4 out of the gate quickly. And his second high percentage shot, the slam.
That's a great read. Excellent read by Rashad McCants, turning to the basketball after the screen went away. Just stepped right back to the ball.
Jagla posting up inside, misses the finger roll.
Jagla's got a lot of talent. He's got to learn to finish that shot. Great hands, real rangy, tall guy. May have some problems though with May's size. Sean May's in there about 270.
A wide body puts up the jumper a little bit strong. Jagla with the rebound, and the Nittany Lions off and running. Chambliss from deep in 3-point territory. He led the Big Ten Conference in threes made a season ago. Shot about 43%.
Chambliss is no stranger to shooting that 3-point ball. He gets it up quick. Nice touch from the corner. That's a good shot for him.
North Carolina leading 6-3. Just underway here at Chapel Hill. Felton off to the wing.
Wow.
Manuel went strong to the bucket and got it to go.
Jackie Manuel may be the best athlete on this Carolina basketball team. Nice stutter step, didn't lose his balance, didn't walk with the basketball, goes to his left very nicely.
Perkins over the midcourt line facing a double team now.
I mean, you really see the quickness on this Carolina basketball team, something they hadn't had.
Scott knocks down to 3 for the Nittany Lions. Got to tell you what happened when Penn State walked into the gym for a shoot-around earlier today. Immediately, they all looked up in the rafters and saw the jerseys of some 43 All-Americans, the championship banners, the ACC tournament banners, and you couldn't help but think they were a little bit intimidated by the venue. The three-pointer good by Rashad McCants. He has 7 already.
Hey, Rashad McCants looks good. Came out of high school, and everybody wanted him to work on that jump shot. Shoot that jump shot better. I'll tell you, he's proven it. He can shoot the J and go to the basket as well.
Baseline move that time by Melvin Scott. And he steps out of bounds. Let's take a look at our Owens Corning starting lineups. One of the key matchups you would think in the middle with Yagla and May. They need to get some low post presence. Both teams do that.
Absolutely. You got to establish. I like the tempo of this basketball game, though. I really think the key matchup down the stretch will be Brandon Watkins going against the young Raymond Felton. I think that's a huge matchup.
Felton dishes it off, and man, this guy, somebody throw water on McCants.
Man,
he has 10.
I'll tell you, they didn't tell him he's a freshman. He comes out stroking.
8 and 20, forget about it.
Well, you know, I talked to Jerry Dunn before the game, and I asked him what his goals were. Got to have better defensive rebounding. Got to play a little tougher defensively. North Carolina's done a great job. Watch Felton. There's the pick. He goes the same direction as the pick. Nice pass. McCants, he's open temporarily. That's a tough shot, but he makes it. Nice reversal of the basketball. Good find. I mean, you got to get up. Jamal Tate's got to get up and close that space up. McCants has proven he will shoot it. You know, and he's going to make some of those, obviously.
Rashad McCants out of Asheville, North Carolina, a New Hampton prep school. Tough-minded, works very hard, and right now paying off at the offensive end of the floor, especially in a great start for Coach Doherty. In his 3rd season now, 2 seasons ago, the National Coach of the Year. Last season, 8 and 20. As often is the case, Brad, coaches get a lot of credit when things go well and a lot of the criticism when they don't.
Oh, absolutely. And I think Coach Doherty last year was in a situation where he just didn't have the personnel exactly that he wanted to play his style of basketball. Nothing against those kids that were here. But you got to remember, 4 of the 5 kids that played the starting lineup last year are gone.
From outside, Manuel missing. Rebound, Yagla, quick outlet up court to Watkins. Good run to Chambliss, not shy at all. And a foul underneath against the Nittany Lions.
Like the push by the Nittany Lions. Good spreading of the court. Watkins makes a good cross-court pass. Chambliss catches it, shoots. I like that in going out into the break situation, creating pressure.
Jerry Dunn did say that they didn't want to get into any kind of game where there were a lot of defensive possessions for Penn State. They wanted to maybe slow it down a little bit more than the pace is right now, Brad.
Oh, absolutely. I think if you give Raymond Felton, who is a young player, this is his first live college basketball game, an opportunity to get comfortable as well as he sees the floor, he'll pick you apart.
Sean May goes glass.
Man, what a nice move.
With his father watching in attendance, Scott May, Sean May sinks it.
That's a super post up. He's 8, 9 feet in the basket. Good square body to the basket, turns off the glass. Nice touch. Moves those feet well for a big guy.
Doherty on the sidelines exhorting his team defensively.
Got to step up on that screen right there, Sean.
Chambliss kicks it out. Chambliss with a bit of a mismatch on Manuel.
I mean, there's some breakdowns defensively, but the quickness is just overwhelming right now for North Carolina.
10 on the shot clock. Wide open. Bellows misses. Rebound, Carolina.
You love to see your guard step in there and get a rebound.
Felton on the push.
Wow.
Oh, what a jump. And the turbo has kicked the Tar Heels.
I'm going to tell you now, Mark, that's impressive. Up the middle, splits the defender, scores on the big guy.
Scott. Tate missing. And another quick outlet to Manuel on the move. He is fouled, coming down hard.
Well, I'll tell you, great outlet pass by May. I'll tell you what, you look at that, that's Wes Unseld. That reminds me of Wes Unseld. He used to catch that ball off the goal, mid-air, turn, outlet it. Great outlet by Jackie Manuel. Good catch. Hard foul. No one's trying to hurt anybody. Just good hard foul.
Manuel going to the line, Brad. Arguably the best athlete on this Carolina team, and Did a lot of work over the summertime, getting in the gym, sticking around town here to work on his game. Coach Doherty expecting bigger things from him offensively this year.
Absolutely. Put on about 10, 15 pounds. It's going to help him down the stretch. You know, like I say, we talk about the athleticism, but he's a good basketball player. Fundamentally, he had a way to go. Came into the system last year. Didn't have the leadership that he needed to develop as a basketball player from other teammates, but now he's one of the leaders.
The Tar Heels jumping out to a 20-6 lead, and Sean May with a soft, deft touch off glass just a few moments ago. Certainly living up to the hype that his father earned in 4 years at Indiana. Making Papa proud. We'll be right back. The Tar Heels with the lead. Brad, you know, they say that potential with players kind of like popcorns in the microwave. Some pop, some don't. So far, the Tar Heel rookies are really starting to pop and percolate.
You know, Mark, these kids usually, you know, the one comes in off the bench, he plays a little bit, he makes a shot, he'll throw a bad pass. These guys came out and set the tone. I mean, look at Rashad McCants, 10 early points. Already, man, we want to play 6 minutes of basketball. I like what I see from this North Carolina team. It's a big change from last year. There's a lot of excitement, a lot of speed, a lot of exuberance on that basketball court.
Tar Heels in the midst of a 12-0 run in the last 2.5 minutes. Voskuhl on the wing for Penn State, looking inside. Boy, they're working hard in the low box to get open.
What a good job. Penn State just got to take care of the basketball for 3-4 possessions, and then they get themselves a chance to shoot the ball. Make 3-4 passes, in other words. Move the ball.
Penn State trying to play from inside out to no avail. McCants on the layup, swallowed up and blocked, and he tripped on the play.
Good job, good job. Look at Raymond Felton getting over. What leadership he shows as a freshman. He's going over telling Rashad, look, take your time. You did not have the numbers. Okay, we know that you could make that play, but let's get something out of our offense.
Scott in the ball game now for North Carolina. And Felton could get control on the pass from May out of bounds. Penn State ball. That is their first turnover, North Carolina.
A little miscommunication there. Now, if I'm Penn State, you know, with Yaga coming back in the basketball game, this kid's got a lot of talent. I want to post him up. You know, I want to take advantage of the size, height-wise, with May in the ball game. See if I can score over him. So far, May has shut him out, and he's probably the premier player outside of Watkins on this basketball team. He's got to touch the ball. Good split.
See how much he touches it. A little pressure half court from North Carolina. Here's Yagla on the wing.
Somebody's got to step into those slots real aggressively and capture that basketball. I mean, North Carolina, all the defense is out on the perimeter. That's a tough shot.
Bit of a force outside from Watkins off the mark. And here's Rashad McCants again. All the way to the cup and fouled by McDougal.
Somebody's got to come out and meet him. You got to stop that ball at the free throw line.
Well, an exciting time beginning in college basketball. And look at our Owens Corning preseason NIT brackets. Penn State, North Carolina here playing the winner of Columbia-Rutgers. That game in progress. St. Peter's taking on Xavier. Boston University against Stanford coming up at 9:15 Eastern time.
Better keep an eye on that Xavier ball club.
And here's the other half of the draw coming up. As McCants makes the free throw, Eastern Illinois taking on Boise State, Louisiana Tech. Florida experiencing some injuries already.
Tough injuries so far.
Wagner, UNC Greensboro, and Holy Cross, Kansas. Kansas among the top 5 teams in college basketball.
They got one of the top 5 coaches. I know that. Roy Williams out there.
Watkins kicks it out to Tate to improve the shooting. Off the mark here. And Felton watches it go out of bounds.
See, that's not a good shot. You're moving the ball quickly through your offense briskly, but you don't make the 4-3-4 passes that break down a defense. There's a quick shot, and no one's there to rebound the basketball.
Barry Dunn's team went 7-21 last year. And they return a lot of youth that got some valuable playing experience last season, but right now, that experience not paying off in points on the board.
Well, Coach Dunn said he wants his team to be tough, physically as well as mentally. He wants them to make, oh, what a tough shot.
Splashdown by Felton. He has 5 on the 3.
I didn't expect that. I'm trying to explain Coach Dunn's philosophies. And meanwhile, Raymond Felton just dropped a 3 bomb on him.
Carolina team getting out and running.
There's a lot of pressure. I mean, they didn't do that last year. They played a lot of zone defense. Guys just stood back in the zone, let people dictate what was going to happen. And right now, they're doing a good job forcing the tempo.
And finally, Brad, Watkins breaks the scoring drought for Penn State. Their first made basket in about 4.5 minutes. Felton out top.
Nice pass.
Inside to May for the slam.
Boy, that's great vision on the basketball court. That's too easy. May shouldn't be able to get behind the defense that easily. Somebody missed an assignment there.
Felton with a nice pass, hence the comparisons to Phil Ford outside. Watkins on the miss. Yagla can't find the rebound. May with a strong pull up court quickly.
Well, he's played one ball game, half of a ball game. I heard the comparisons to Phil Ford, this, that, and another. I just don't think that's fair. Let him be his own player.
Good hustle by Manuel. May on the run.
They're just out hustling him. They're just out hustling him right now, Mark.
It came right back to Manuel, but it'll be Penn State ball. We are here in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, the Dean E. Smith Center. The first round of the Owens Corning Preseason NIT. I'm Mark Jones along with Brad Doherty. A couple of teams right now trying to bounce back from disappointing seasons last year. This is the first game that North Carolina has started 3 freshmen. They started Felton, McCants, and May. And all 3 of them having a say in the game so far.
I mean, they've been tremendous. And what people don't realize, I just found this out. This is the youngest team in college basketball. The youngest team. That's incredible.
Inside the miss. Manuel with the rebound. He came into North Carolina as a 17-year-old.
16.
Manuel to the cup and fouled once again. They are getting very deep into the lane. Well, folks, our regional coverage of the Owens Corning Preseason NIT continues on ESPN2 at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Boston University taking on Stanford, or Eastern Illinois taking on Boise State. Also at 9:15, BU won its first American East title since 1996-97 last season. Now they lost to Cincinnati in the NCAA first round, but a very good year for BU, and doing so without star guard Matt Turner, who missed almost all of last season with an injured shoulder. One of the more compelling stories in college basketball. Manuel at the line. He has 5 so far.
I just think it's important for Penn State to get up and play some defense out on the floor.
Got to do it soon. They trail by 20 when we come back to a raucous and roaring Dean E. Smith Center. Stick around.
ESPN2's presentation of the Owens Corning NIT preseason tournament is presented by Owens Corning, Innovations for Living, and in part by Canon, with thousands of products and one simple idea, giving people know-how. Canon know-how.
Tell you what a difference 365 days can make. Last year at halftime in their season opener against Hampton, North Carolina had just 28 points. They already have 28 now. And look at the field goal shooting, red hot, 10 of 14.
That's incredible. And what's great is Coach Dart has already been able to go to fresh faces on the floor, 8 minutes, 9 minutes into the ball game. There was times he didn't, he went 2 or 3 games last year without making deep rotations.
It's nice when a coach can have the luxury of mixing and matching different combinations and permutations and keep on the winning track, because every single game counts towards that final holy grail, making it to the NCAA tournament.
Absolutely. It starts tonight and it's for real. So this is great. They're playing well. Let's see if they can sustain the energy. Coach Jerry Dunn, he settles the troops down, says let's run some offense. Nice drive by Watkins.
Watkins on the reverse. Nice right-handed layup.
Brandon
Watkins has 4.
The senior goes nicely to his left. Little reverse layup, using the basket to guard the ball. Does a super job.
Holmes checking in the ball game at point guard for North Carolina.
We pick high. Oh, nice pass.
And it's inside. Sanders on the miss. Out of bounds. It'll be Nittany line ball. Here's what's transpired since the last meeting between these two teams. An 82-74 victory for Penn State. North Carolina, Joe Forte with a season-low 6 points in that game, and what a disappointment it was for Carolina. That, in essence, as we mentioned, kind of started the downward spiral for the Tar Heels.
That was the last straw before they went the last season. They really played poorly, and it just was an uncharacteristic year for this program. But
with a lot of mitigating circumstances, though.
Absolutely.
Leaving early for the NBA, and youthful player stepping in his place. Yagla unable to get the handle, out of bounds. It'll be Tar Heel ball. That is their 3rd turnover of the ball game. May coming back into the ball game for North Carolina. A former Mr. Basketball in the state of Indiana.
And you get these huge deficits early, if you're a basketball coach, the one thing that you have to emphasize with your team is take extremely good care of that ball. Every possession becomes critical because now it's 2 for 1. Every time you go down and you don't score, just like that right there. They throw the ball away down on one end, Penn State does. North Carolina comes back and scores a bucket.
Hay has 8 points. So much talk about his perimeter skills, being able to shoot the ball outside, but showing a pretty good post-up game here.
I'm impressed. Good feet, nice post-up, strong to the basket, good finish. Look at that push. Somebody's got to stop it. Good block by Yagla.
Yagla steps in and snuffs that one, and now a little 2-on-1. Chambliss, as is his custom,
Tough shot.
misses everything on the three-point attempt.
Boy, that's a tough shot transition.
Chambliss led the Big Ten Conference in threes made last year with 99. Led the conference in free throw shooting as well. Tomorrow night, folks, NBA Fast Break. Kevin Frazier, Sean Elliott, Tim Legler in the studio bringing you a full slate of NBA games with exclusive in-progress highlights and news. See live action from the 8-game NBA docket tomorrow night. The NBA Fast Break Tuesday on ESPN2 tomorrow at 9 Eastern Time. 30-10, North Carolina up on Penn State. Here in the first round of the Owens Corning preseason NIT. Nice backdoor by Felton.
Boy, that's good recognition right there. McCants catches Felton, makes an excellent cut back door. I mean, they're just picking them apart. A tough shot, tough shot.
Inside off the rebound and one. Finally, Johnson able to slow down the bleeding a little bit. Check that, Egakazi.
Nice box out by Egakazi. Does a good job keeping his man off the board. Watch this box out. Tough shot right there by Chambliss. Look at the box out. He keeps May off the board. There's a foul right there. Takes 2 to the basket and gets one.
Ndu Egakazi out of Augusta, Georgia. A junior, 6'6", 230 pounds, an engineering major at Penn State. Takes a lot of heat for his schedule among his teammates. He's one of the more meticulous players on the crew. Always accounts for every single minute, and such is the case, Brad, for student athletes. No time to waste. Certainly didn't waste his opportunity at the line. He has 3.
I'm glad he does that because I didn't do that when I was in school. A bright young man. He's got a bright future. Out playing hard, getting his hand in the passing lane, doing some good things for his ball club.
Active on the perimeter that time, tipping out of bounds. Penn State trailing 32-13. If you're just joining us, North Carolina jumping out to an early lead, courtesy of a lot of missed Penn State shots. Carolina, Brad, able to get out on the fast break frequently.
Did a great job capitalizing on the turnovers, pushing the basketball, and they pushed it to the front of the rim, which loosened up everything else and gave McCants and Felton good looks at the basket for their perimeter shots.
Manual work in the baseline. Knocked out of bounds by Egakazi. One thing, Brad Doherty, you cannot teach: acceleration and speed. Look at this.
Look at that. Good rebound by Felton. Look at that. He's gone. He's got his man on his hip all the way to the basket. That's a great block by Yagla. They better be glad he was back there because, in essence, Felton went from one end of the court to the other to the front of the basket.
Raymond Felton out of Marion, South Carolina. Coach Doherty trying to take a lot of pressure off him by kind of playing down some of those comparisons to Phil Ford. There's Watkins on the break. That'll be a goaltending call. Watkins using his offhand. He has 6 now in the ball game.
Watkins shows great speed getting to that basket. Got that ball up quick before Jawad could react to it.
Native of Chicago. Played a lot of time this past summer in the Chicago Pro-Am with the likes of Tim Hardaway and Antoine Walker.
Watkins has a good handle. Like I say, he's an excellent basketball player. I think he's going to have a big year for Penn State. They need his leadership.
Felton penetrating into the teeth of the defense. Now kicking it out to Manuel. 20 seconds on the shot clock. They call out the play. A little bit of a zone look here from Penn State. Inside.
Wow.
McCants. Let's check in with Reese in the studio. Reese?
All right, Columbia and Rutgers. Rutgers getting some business done at home against the overmatched Lions. Up front, the easy lay-in. The Calvin Wooten made it 18-2. Now 25-9 game. As Sean Exani pays it off. Rutgers up big.
Boy, the score there very much kind of reflective of the score here. One team, the home team, jumping out to a quick lead. McCants making the first of 2.
Good catch by McCants down low. Showed tremendous elevation. Hung in the air, drew the foul, and gets a chance to make 2.
Went for over 30 points already once this year in an exhibition game. The meter running, Brad, at 13 already with 8:40 to go here in the first half of play.
Has a super stroke on the basketball. Really worked hard on the shot. Good defender, long arms, real aggressive.
Watkins
Looks like Penn's going to have to make some out shots in order to take a little pressure off themselves.
There's Tate working on the perimeter. They lay off him. He goes inside to Egakizi. Gets a fortuitous roll. He has 5 in the ball game.
Tough post up down there by Egakizi. They got to get him the ball more. He wants it.
And posting up a little bit different with the different rules.
That's a good pass.
Size of the lane that we're using inside. Tipped up twice. McCants working the inside now and more.
Man. Wow, what great hustle. I'll tell you what, Sean May made a heck of a pass to Juwan Williams. He just couldn't quite gather himself. He was wide open. Great hustle by Rashad McCants keeping that ball alive. I want you to watch the pass by Sean May. Look at that. Big guys just don't do that. He gets pushed under the basket. Great effort. Good, strong rebound. Little body contact, there's the foul.
Anybody throwing around comparisons with May and maybe a young Brad Doherty?
I don't know. I think he passes that ball a little better than I do. He's a lot better looking than I am, too, so.
Well, the May name, very famous and prominent in college basketball. As for McCants, nice looking dossier as well. New Hampton Prep to a state title. Donald's High School Player of the Year.
Great hustle. Oh, man. You're going to got 6'8", 270 pounds, who hustles back and steals the ball.
McCants looking for some and getting some.
Wow. I mean, what can you say? The guy's hitting every kind of shot. He's made every shot in the gym.
17 points already for Rashad McCants.
Tough pass. Really buys.
The freshmen are making it real hot here. Manuel over the hammer.
That's great basketball. May to Williams, over to Manuel. The ball didn't touch the floor. That's perfect. That's fundamentally sound basketball.
A dejected, disconcerted Nittany Lion crew calling timeout. Brad Doherty, this was a scene that was all too infrequent a season ago.
Last year, I just felt like that the team didn't have the leadership that they wanted. Okay, now they've got guys who want to go after it, play hard, and lead this ball club.
Last year, Coach Doherty admitted that things didn't go the way that he had planned. They lost a couple of key players and saw several very good streaks come to a crashing end. 3 players left the program within a span of 4 months, and Coach Doherty, with his type A personality, has kind of pulled the reins back a little bit on himself and his team, and they came to an understanding within the family to kind of revamp the approach a little bit. Early indications are it's paying off.
Well, I think Coach Doherty has kids that can play the style of basketball he wants to play.
Yagla missing. Egakizi couldn't get the tip.
Don't get me wrong now. Matt is going to get after you. That's just going to happen. Good block.
May hijacks it. It's out of bounds. Penn State ball.
And I think what happened last year a lot of times is Matt would, get after the kids, and sometimes they would take that as him accosting them, and that wasn't the fact.
The sidelines of the Tar Heels, a picture of intensity. When we come back, I'll look at some more freshman prominence. Stick around. Welcome back, everyone, to the Owens Corning preseason NIT first round action. Penn State taking on North Carolina. The Tar Heels leading 40-17 in the first half with 7:02 to go, and the Diaper Dandies have lit it up big time.
I mean, they've been unbelievable, Mark. You're looking at 32 of the 40 points that have been scored by North Carolina have come from the 3 freshmen. They have been outstanding. McCants is 6 of 6 from the floor. I mean, the team is 15 of 23. They're playing very solid basketball, and Penn State has no answer.
McCants already with 17 points. The shot off the mark by Chambliss. Chambliss really struggling with his jumper right now. Got to do other things, you would think, to get his scoring going. Inside for May, and it's knocked away in the low post. Here's Watkins on the move. Fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2. Good call by McCants.
Rod Williams showing great hustle, getting back. Just couldn't quite get his body in position.
McCants has 17 already just 2 points behind Jeremy Hunt of Memphis. Cedric Mitchell with a very auspicious debut as a freshman, as did Carmelo Anthony playing Broadway, and he was kind of nice.
You've seen that kid is tough. Carmelo Anthony's going to have a super year. I don't want to put any pressure on him, but he's the man.
More and more, Brad, we see freshmen coming in, and coaches never know how long their quasars are going to be around, so they are making immediate impacts.
What you see is a lot of the top programs, too, really go after kids who can make that immediate impact on the game. Used to be, you could get a couple of kids who were going to be projects and grow with your program and be staples by the time they were juniors and seniors. Now, a kid may not be there next year, so you need immediate impact, especially if you're going to lose a scholarship for a kid who's going to leave in a year.
North Carolina leading 40-19 as we approach 6.5 minutes to go in the first half.
Will Johnson comes in, does a nice job, very solid player. Oh, nice pass.
Williams, nice feed inside to Sean May. He'll go to the line for two. The big fella showing a soft touch inside and good muscle inside as well.
Nice pass by Williams, unselfish.
Our regional coverage of the Owens Corning Preseason NIT continuing on ESPN2. Coming up after our game, Boston University against Stanford or Eastern Illinois against Boise State. BU's been known for a long time as a hockey school, but this season the Terriers, hey, they're 5-1-2, and they sell out regularly, and we're ranked number 5 in the nation in the preseason polls. Maybe basketball will start to steal some of those fans away.
That's two of the most beautiful campuses you'll ever see in all of college sports or college period. Boston U has a beautiful, beautiful campus as well, Stan.
North Carolina leading 40-19. May with
nice
9 points now in the ball game. His father, Scott, watching here. Sean averaging 15, and here's Felton with the pick.
Oh, man. Go ahead with your bad self, little fella. Man. Woo. Got a 6-foot guard going and throwing it down. 2 hands, Mark. Here comes the dogs. Their dogs are out.
Hitting him with a little half-court.
Oh, man.
May hits star 69 and sends that one back. Scott on the move for the Tar Heels.
Hey, that's going to be the big difference is this team's ability to get out three-quarter court trap.
Johnson kicks it back out to Felton.
Take your time.
Maybe not. Ooh, wanted to get a little more. On the move, it's Watkins. Strong to the bucket.
Nice move by Watkins. He really has to take over for Penn State, make some things happen. He has the ability to penetrate as well as hit the outshot. A lot riding on him. Yagler is not even in the game. Sean May is just totally taking him out of the basketball game.
Inside they go. Nice feed to May by Williams, and he can't catch it.
Sean was falling away on that shot. Got to follow that shot.
At some point, Brad, you would think that they would run something or get Yagler involved a little bit more in the offense.
Got to. I mean, he's could be the best player on that team. He's only touched the ball maybe 4 times.
Watkins trying to do it on his own on that play. Here's Felton. They got a 3-on-2.
Good decision. Good shot.
Felton kicks it out to Scott.
That is just a super decision. I'm really impressed with Raymond Felton's ability to see the court and make a good decision. Most freshmen will make 1 good decision, 3 bad. He's just so mature for a young basketball player. Like I said, this is just the first game, but I'm extremely impressed with his wherewithal on the court. He's done a great job.
If you thought, folks, it was only height, the evidence suggests otherwise.
I mean, if you're a North Carolina basketball fan, you got to be excited watching this.
Yagler inside, still can't get it to fall. May with his 5th rebound of the ball game, and a nice push up court to Williams. Williams, and everything going absolutely right for North Carolina.
This is Raymond Felton. Ball's turned over. He's out. Exploding out. 6 feet tall out of Atlanta, South Carolina. That's for the home, folks. Nice block right there. Sean May does a good job. Look at the decision making this young man has. Up the court. 3-on-2. Nowhere to go. Melvin Scott wide open. That's a great play. Good shot. Good decision.
They were taking roll call in one of his classes recently, and when they called out his name, some of his fellow students immediately gathered around him and disrupted class, started asking for his autograph. He better get used to living with it the way he's playing.
I'll tell you, with all the pressure that the kid comes into this school with and what he has to live up to, he's handled it well thus far.
Ekekezi sitting down for Penn State. Out of bounds, it'll be Carolina ball. It's all about sharing, teamwork, and unselfishness.
Well, it's been unselfish basketball in the first 15 minutes of this ballgame. Great pass by Manuel. Sean May in great position, uses his body well. Nice pass. That's great recognition of your teammates and their abilities to make that pass and know he would catch that ball.
Holmes with a nice feed inside. Great hustle. And a foul. North Carolina very active at both ends, controlling the rebounding situation so far.
See Byron Sanders in there. I think he's going to come in at 6'9", 225 pounds. He's going to be the X factor for this basketball team, I think, as the season goes on. Because Sean May, if there's ever a chance he gets into foul trouble, it could be a liability for this basketball team. It's a small team, so Sanders has to improve, and he's got to be Johnny on the spot. He's got to do it on the job. Showing great defensive presence. Jonathan Holmes, senior, knows the deal, works hard. Good defense by Jonathan Holmes.
Tate on the baseline.
Great help right there. Good step over by David Noel. Does a good job of helping straight up, no foul. Move the basketball. Oh, man.
An easy path to the basket that time. The Nittany Lion defense succumbing.
I mean, Penn State has to have someone come from the weak side. There has to be help somewhere, and it's just not happening. Once the defender gets beat, excuse me, Mark, they just, it's wide open shot. Somebody has to come, foul, do something.
Sanders on the foul that time.
Got to stop that basketball.
David Noel, the football player on the slam dunk a few moments ago. The coach likes it. Really digging what his team is doing on the floor right now. Well, the resurrection has begun in earnest here at Chapel Hill. It's all baby blue right now. We'll be back. But look, right now, Raymond Felton, the super freshman, is a monument to decision-making, much like one of his predecessors, Phil Ford, back in the day at Carolina.
Phil Ford making the sweet pass to Chicky Rich Yannick out of the corner. Phil Ford, when it came to the end of the ball games, pre-shot clock days, he went to the four corners. You could mail it in, baby. It was over.
And Felton following well in his footsteps right now. And it's going to be tough to stop those comparisons.
It really is, and I want to stay away from it. I want to give Felton a good season of basketball. I'm impressed with just how he plays the game thus far.
There's also a feeling of foot. He's a little bit more of a scorer, maybe along the lines of a Jason Williams.
Absolutely. He's got a super shot. That's a tough pass. Yaga gets knocked under the basket.
You know, Sean May, for a guy that missed a little bit of time because of an ankle injury, showing good fitness, still getting in shape, getting up and down the floor for a big guy.
Yeah, he needs to get a little bit better shape, but I'm telling you, he's in good shape, and he's doing a great job, moves those feet really well.
Tate outside. Yagla corralling the rebound for Penn State.
He's got to make a move. Strong move.
Had it knocked away. Tied up in a jump ball. Possession, Penn State. We're here in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. The Dean E. Smith Center for preseason NIT first round action in the Owens Corning preseason NIT. I'm Mark Jones along with Brad Doherty, and this is the most points and a half last season, 55 against Florida State last February. Already Carolina at 49 with the meter still running. 2:35 to play in the first half. This is part of the rebirth and the resurrection of a program that went 8-20 a season ago. Out of bounds. And it's Penn State ball.
I really think that, like we keep harping on, Yagla's got to get into the ball game. He's got to make some things happen. And I want to defend him a little bit here because you see Phil Ford up top doing a little broadcasting, dropping a little knowledge on everyone here. But with Yagla, when you're on a basketball court with everybody who's so quick and so fast, sometimes you look awkward and it's hard to get in position. You know, he's had a tough time getting set up because there's so much speed on this court on both ends.
McDougal with that last basket for the Nittany Lions, and a nice defensive play at this end of the floor.
McDougal comes in, Jason McDougal comes in and puts a nice defensive block on Jawad Williams' tie up there.
North Carolina ball with 2:14 to play in the first half. One more look at Yagla down at the other end, had it stripped away.
Yeah, he's just got so much speed around him, it's hard for him to get comfortable. He's got to be assertive and step in there. Does a good job keeping the ball alive in the play before that, but once he gathers it up, he just can't go anywhere with it. So.
Someone who is drawing comparisons to another 7-footer from Germany presently in the league, Dirk Nowitzki, the Dallas Mavericks, although his skill level not quite the same yet. Wow. Bit of a disclaimer, and this guy, man, he is working Penn State like a part-time job. Rashad McCants with 20 points in the ball game.
I tell you, I'm really impressed. That's all you can say. The kid has just showed up to play.
Chambliss with the putback, finally getting one to go. He has 5.
There, got smacked on the arm. Could have got a foul there. It's been a great three-point play. Good effort by Chambliss. And like I say, Penn State, you know, they don't get all the McDonald's All-Americans that North Carolina gets and some of the other programs. So they got to dig and fight. They got a great basketball coach. That's why they've had success. You know, outside of last season, they struggled.
Well, coming up at halftime, Digger Phelps and Reese Davis in the studio. St. Pete's taking on Xavier. Columbia taking on Rutgers. Highlights from both those games in the Owens Corning preseason NIT. 52-25 as we approach 1.5 minutes to go here in the first half. A first half dominated by North Carolina, courtesy of their fast break early, setting the tone. Watkins on the drive.
Nice job. Good turn. Good little pick up top by McDougal. Nice shot by Watkins. Like I said, he's the guy that's going to have to lead the ship for this ball club and get him in the game.
Wouldn't hurt if they got on a little run here.
Yeah, absolutely. Going into the locker room, it'd be excellent.
Gain a little bit of confidence.
Because they just came out. They came out and got punched in the mouth, and they're just now starting to get their feet on them somewhat.
North Carolina used a 16-0 run and a 15-4 run to sprint out to this lead. 10 on the shot clock. Williams out top. Yagla stepping in.
Stepped in too late.
And a block.
Oh, he called the offensive foul. Wow, I thought he was a little too late to get there. Oh, he called a walk.
Well, our regional coverage of the Owens Corning preseason NIT continues on ESPN2. Coming up after our game, Boston University taking on Stanford. Hey, Stanford coach Mike Montgomery is 7 wins from 500 for his career. He has done an outstanding job on the farm, and sometimes because of even a perceived East Coast bias, a lot of people not staying up for those West Coast games. His success going sometimes unrecognized.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like I say, you miss those games because they come up a little late on the East Coast, but he's done an excellent job.
Manuel quickly up court to McDougal. And a foul from behind on McCants.
Got to play smart. You know, you had the great effort by Felton trying to knock the ball away. McDougal's showing a lot of athleticism. And McCants comes in over the top and fouls. But great, just aggressive basketball by North Carolina.
You know, one thing that I alluded to earlier that hasn't come into play so far yet is something we haven't talked about. The big lane is you see the foul shot, Brad. You see the wider lane that we're using in preseason college basketball. It has a distinctive effect on post-up plays, doesn't it?
Absolutely. What it does is it allows the big guys room to maneuver in there. And they're trying to clean up the play on low post, obviously. So they give 2 feet on each side. And what that does, it allows a guy like Sean May to have a little bit more room to post up. It allows a guy like Yagla to get in and play good defense around him and not be running into, bumping into everybody, cutting and moving. I think it's great.
Yeah, opens up the lanes for a lot of drives, too. And
that's exactly right.
Like you mentioned and alluded to, a lot of that in response to what happened at the World Basketball Championships this summer.
Same thing with moving the three-point line back. I think it's a great idea. You shouldn't be out there shooting them if you could.
May inside off the nice dish.
Got too many bad shooters last year shooting three-point shots. You move it back. Now it's going to be a selective group that's going to shoot from there who should be shooting.
Manuel knifing, lacerating the defense here.
I mean, look at that nice pass down low. Good pass, good up, good foul. Absolutely.
Big love for play. Got a lot of passion, just like his father, Scott. Former player of the year at Indiana. Played on the championship team. May with 9 points. Suffered a bit of a knee injury a couple of weeks ago, and still getting into what some people might consider a game shape, but so far getting up and down the floor pretty well. Mr. Basketball in the state of Indiana last year averaged 22 and 14 per game. And he broke his teammate Jonathan Holmes' county scoring record.
I mean, he's going to be fine. He's got a long season ahead of him. He'll get in shape.
Chambliss off the mark, and that's the end of the first half. The 3 precocious freshmen putting up some stellar numbers in the first half of play. McCants, May, and Felton owning the first half. The resurrection, the rebirth, well underway here in Chapel Hill. That's the end of the first half.
You know, there might have been some people worried about North Carolina after they dumped that exhibition game, but those freshmen coming up with 40 of the 54 in the first half, Digger.
They did it 3 ways. The tradition of North Carolina basketball, you play that pressure defense, pressure on the ball, pressure on a passing lane. You hit the board strong, because when you do that, you run, run, run. And that's what they did in the first half, and that's what Matt Doherty's trying to do, start with these young kids and get that tradition back of Carolina blue.
I know you want to finish the second half first, but you look ahead to the next game, and North Carolina might have to deal with a little bit of pressure. When Digger and I come back on the halftime report, you'll see Carolina's potential opponent in the next round, and they are turning up the heat on their opponent, the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Impressive in the first half.
Here at the Corning Preseason NIT, the Owens Corning Preseason NIT first round action. Penn State trailing big time at halftime. North Carolina up 45-29. I'm Mark Jones along with Brad Doherty. Brad, at the top of the show, we talked about the precocious All-Americans, the three that started for the first time in school history at the top of the show. Have to be impressed not only with their productivity, but their poise more than anything else.
Absolutely. I mean, these three guys have come out just taking the basketball game and taking it upon themselves to make things happen. Very, very impressed with the maturation of these three kids. Absolutely outstanding. Penn State's got to do a better job of getting to the basket, being more aggressive, making things happen for themselves, or this ball game will be over in the next 5 minutes.
Felton with great decision-making. Sean May worked inside and outside, and Rashad McCants showing that time he went off for over 30 in a preseason exhibition game was absolutely no fluke. As we get started here in the second half of play, McCants approaching the record, the freshman record in a debut held by Joseph Forte of 24 points against Southern California in Maui 3 years ago. 54-29. And a very inauspicious beginning for Penn State in the second half.
See, that's been a major problem. I mean, we're talking about Rashad McCants, 7-7 from the field. I mean, he made every type of shot imaginable. Big, powerful rebound in there. Does a great job going right back to the bucket. 3 for 3 from the three-point line. I mean, the kid's got 20 points, and he ain't broke a sweat.
And a nice feed inside that time by Felton. And Carolina, 56-29. Williams on the bucket.
All right, we got
Chambliss off the curl.
Oh, man.
Yagla missing an easy one.
What's strong?
Yagla back at it. First time today that he has had the ball knocked away, bringing it down low, Brad.
And that happens. Like I say, you get the activity around you as a big guy, and you become passive. You become hesitant because you're always looking for those hands coming. He needs to catch the ball a couple times and just go to the basket as forcefully as he possibly can. I don't care if it's an offensive foul or whatever. Make something happen and create opportunity, create space for himself. Ooh, Sean
May outside.
That's tough. That's tough.
Big fella with 13 points already.
I mean, Rashad McCants has played wonderful ball, but I'm really impressed with May and his ability to pass the basketball and make shots. I mean, he's making everybody on the floor better, which is awesome.
Really sells the fake well, too, doesn't he, Brad?
Good catch on the post. Look at him showing both hands. Oh, faces up, up. Oh, that's just excellent basketball. Excellent basketball. You turn, you make that defender step backwards. Nice job.
Woo! McCants inside off the feed. One of the few miscues by him today.
Good pass inside. You like those shots around the rim, around the basket.
Here's Chambliss off the screen. Yagla finally outside, had an open look.
Nice
Tate inside. Push off, no call. Egakese missing the easy left-handed layup. So they had 3 cracks at it, didn't get any. And we have a whistle here as McCants is shaken up, got hit in the face.
He may have got an elbow in the face there.
Got a little rough underneath. Egakese kind of used that free arm, his right arm, as he attempted the left-handed layup. May have hit him right in the nose.
See what happens here. He's under the basket. Yeah, Egakese really pushed off pretty hard with that right arm, trying to clear some space. I think it was an accident, but inadvertently hit Rashad in the face.
Might be the only way to slow him down tonight. There's Felton out top. Egakese on Williams. May posts up so well inside, Brad. Something that you don't see often from big freshmen.
Yeah.
Sometimes their post play isn't quite there, but his seems to have arrived.
Oh, he does a good job. It all comes from good feet. His footwork is excellent. Does a good job of squaring his body up. Gets that arm out, gets it extended, and every time the defender moves, he moves as an offensive player. It makes it very difficult to get around him. Uses his size very well.
Johnson out top. And now Felton will call out the play.
Tough shot. Good rebound.
Manuel skies high for the putback.
Good job.
And they get it again. Johnson. Manuel took it away from his own man. And he's fouled on the attempt. Great effort, great hustle by both of those guys. Johnson and Manuel crashing the board, giving their team another chance. 4th foul on Egakese. And that's not a good sign for Penn State. They, just like North Carolina, don't have a lot of depth when it comes to post players.
Well, especially Nekakazi's been the one guy who's been sticking his nose in around that basket, keeping the ball alive.
Manuel, meanwhile, with 9 as Nekakazi checks out of the ball game. In comes McDougald, who had a very productive last couple of minutes in the first half, had 4 quick points in a flurry.
Nice job by Manuel going up making his free throw.
He's got 10, a little half-court trap.
That's what you like to see. A lot of pressure, a lot of scrambling.
It's been effective for them so far. Chambliss, been that kind of a night for him. May on the quick outlet.
Oh, just jumped too early.
Just missing Manuel out of bounds. And they're going to call a foul against Carolina. And number 5, Manuel.
Gave him a little shove. May lofted that ball up. Manuel left his feet just a second too early. Mistimed it.
Penn State trailing by 31 points. Chambliss out top.
Good defense by Jackie Manuel. Wow, man.
Staying with Chambliss the whole way.
Wow. What defense. I mean, he was like a glove. Couldn't get rid of it.
Had Chambliss smothered, but he'll go to the line nonetheless for 2.
I mean, watch this. This is a 6'6" guy guarding a 6'2" guy. Look at him move his feet, and he blocks the shot.
Chambliss had a great productive year last season for Penn State. Makes the first of 2. Part of his motivation comes from an old assistant coach in the Big Ten. I'm not going to mention any names, but they didn't think that he could play at this level, but he certainly proved them wrong.
Absolutely, they made a mistake. There's a lot of these kids out there. Chambliss is one of them.
He has 7 on 2 of 9 from the field, Brad. There's 17 minutes to go now in the second half. Manuel slips, tried to feed it inside, out of bounds.
Trying to make something happen that's not there. Go ahead, pass the basketball, move the basketball, make the defense shift. Give yourself an opportunity for the defense to break down, then go to the basket. Trying to create a little bit of something. But that's okay, that's a learning process. You gotta remember, Manuel is just he's a sophomore. He's still learning as well.
Chambliss off the curl, takes it into the lane, rejected by May, but is fouled in the process.
Good job of Chambliss getting in with the big guys. He's a little pump fake.
Chambliss is from Racine, Wisconsin. Had a very nice visit with his father a little earlier today during shoot-around. Jamil Gahari. He's the executive director of the Bray Center in Racine, Wisconsin, a place where a lot of the locals play, including the likes of Caron Butler, formerly of UConn, now with the Miami Heat, a first-round draft pick, number 10 overall. So if you're looking to get some run against some good competition, that's the guy you want to run against. And Chambliss did that a lot this summer. Subsequently, the improvement in his game. He makes both free throws. He has 9.
Really has a nice stroke.
16:43 to go here in the second half.
McCants back in the ball game after a little dust up.
Saw the cut man in the corner. And he is cutting up that defense of Penn State to the tune of 22 points. Watkins back quickly.
Nice move by Watkins. Created enough space between himself and May where he couldn't get to that basketball. Nice little shot off the glass.
Watkins pretty much a one-man show offensively with 14 points for Penn State. And when you're here in Chapel Hill, folks, you never really know who's going to drop by or who's in the building. Ooh, nice treat coming up. And
nice move. Gerard Williams hanging in the air.
The meter's still running for North Carolina. Williams out of Cleveland, a sophomore. Averaged just under 10 points a game last season. He has 5 tonight. That little trap at half court, midcourt's working pretty well for Carolina.
A lot of speed on the perimeter, Mark. That creates problems. Now you got to start your offense even further away from the basket with time ticking, so you end up taking a rush shot in the end. Very smart. Utilize your quickness.
There's Felton out top. 15 and a half to go in the second half.
Good fake.
Williams working the baseline. Manuel skying high for the rebound.
Great hustle by Jackie Manuel. He made that play. He kept that play alive, kept the ball alive. Now his team has another opportunity. That's great hustle.
Carolina just a step or 2 quicker all night against Penn State. Manuel put it on spin cycle. Got it.
Nice.
He has 12.
Boy, there's just so much maturity in his game compared to last year. He feels so much better about his game. He's gained a little bit of weight, He's exerting himself offensively as well as defensively until he's comfortable.
Here's Chambliss off the flare screen. Can't get it to fall. No good inside. May intimidated that shot by McDougal.
Well, McDougal had a good opportunity, just couldn't get it to go down.
And that was the 8th rebound for May. We got a timeout on the floor, and like I said, you never know who's going to drop by our booth here when you're at Chapel Hill. He goes by the initials JP, Julius Peppers, when we come back. And welcome back to the D. Smith Center here in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Mark Jones along with Brad Doherty. This guy in the middle is one of the best pass rushers last year in all of college football. Now one of the better pass rushers in the NFL, Julius Peppers. What do you think of the young fellas so far?
Right now, they're looking good. They're showing a lot of confidence. And Jackie and Jawad, they're showing a lot more maturity with the ball. So they're looking good right now early in the season.
I'll tell you what, Jules, now you look good. You're in good shape. You're going to take a little break from football for a little bit. You ought to suit up. Go play a little NBA basketball. I think you have the ability to play both. Why not, man? You have the ability to do that.
I don't know. I heard Charlotte getting ready, trying to get a new team.
That's right, man. I told you. I knew you were thinking about it. You ought to do that.
Better to get paid twice as opposed to once. What went into your decision-making in giving up that final year of basketball?
It was more of a career move, knowing that I was already established in football. And I think it was time to make a decision, one or the other. So I just went with the one that I was more established with.
Julius Peppers, former defensive end and power forward here at the University of North Carolina, and right now not playing football because of a very kind of controversial situation with dealing with supplements and some of the over-counter things that are available to NFL players and other athletes these days. What's your take on that, Julius?
Right now, I really can't comment on it, but I wish I could. But when it's time, I'll address the issue. But right now, I really can't talk about it much.
Yeah, I wish they would do a better job, NFL, at explaining exactly what that means. I mean, I took Sudafed this morning for a cold. I would be suspended for the next 4 weeks. They need to clarify what exactly is causing what the issue is actually about, to make people know that you guys aren't doing anything that's illegal. It's just considered, a problem because of some things that have happened to some people in the past. But you guys aren't doing anything illegal. Like I said, I took Sudafed this morning. I'll be on the sideline. That's not cool. That's not right.
So the question is, where do you get and how do you get your run on right now in the middle of an NFL season? Because I know there's a lot of DBs out there that think they're frustrated basketball players. Right? Am I right?
Yeah, I think all basketball players want to play football, though. And a lot of football players want to play basketball. So, yeah, everybody think they can play.
Check out our monitor here for a minute, Julius. And this might be something that I haven't seen in a long time.
See Coach Doherty smiling,
Kinda
man.
loose, huh?
He's having a good time.
Yeah.
Carolina up big time, and finally, you guys, Julius, you started out this season, really started strong, playing well. Some different things have come about, some injuries, different things. What are you guys? What's your goal for? Are you looking towards next season already as a football team, or how do you prepare yourself? What do you got to do?
Not looking forward to next season because we're almost there. Okay. We're just one step away.
Okay.
We're a couple of plays away from being in all those games. We win most of all our games this year. It's just we had late fourth quarter collapses, and we got to overcome that.
Julius, earlier and now actually early in your NFL career, when you look at the guy that has led your team a lot this year, quarterback Rodney Peete, the veteran, approaching his 40s, legally anyway, on the birth certificate, what lessons do you take from a guy like that who sometimes really prepares himself to get ready? We'll get to that in a bit. Mark Jones here along with Brad Doherty and Julius Peppers here courtside, former football player and basketball player here at the University of North Carolina. We're at Chapel Hill. North Carolina firmly in control right now. They jumped out of the box early and have not looked back since. But back to what I asked you a few moments ago. What lessons did you learn from a guy like Rodney Peete in being able to have some longevity in a football career?
Right. being prepared, getting prepared for the game. You know, you can learn from them, and Pete, just being around older guys just helps you. Not just being around older people. It helps you out in your preparation. And I always see Pete in the training room, so I know I gotta take care of my body and get treatment on my injuries, so I can have longevity like him.
Absolutely.
That's the ultimate goal for a lot of players, along with championships. And Julius, we want to thank you for dropping by and giving us a little insight.
No problem.
Julius, we appreciate it, man. What about my Tar Heel football team now? What's going on, man? You abandoned us. We're struggling now defensively. We can't hold stop it. Come on, man.
This is a rough run.
They're young.
Coming down hard on you, man.
They're young.
They are young. They're gonna be better next year, though.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, I'm gonna hang in there.
Julius Peppers of the Carolina Panthers. Tar Heels leading 68-40. And we're going to take a short timeout.
30 seconds.
It has been all Carolina blue right from the jump. 22 points so far in the ball game for Rashad McCants, and the meter's still running. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone, to Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Right now, we want to welcome the men and women of the U.S. Navy. We're watching the game right now from inside the Privateers Club in Keflavik, Iceland.
All right.
Thank you, fellas, for all that you do, protecting our interests both domestically and internationally, and that is the American Forces Network. You never know when you might end up in Keflavik. You might want to carry a couple of Carolina T-shirts or caps.
Good to know some folks over in Keflavik in case you stop through. Glad we have some of our folks over there, though. And, we're proud of all those folks in the armed service.
Tate over to Watkins on the wing. 11 minutes to go in the second half.
We got to talk to big JP, Julius Peppers. We missed a little bit of basketball here. Let's get back to business.
Watkins into the lane.
Oh, nice move.
He's had his way offensively. He has 16 in the ball game.
Yeah, he just hadn't got a whole lot of help, and he's done some good things. He's penetrated, and we've said he's got to carry the load, and he's trying his best. He's got to get a little help, need a little inside presence. A lot of time in this ball game. See if these freshmen from North Carolina wilt a little bit, start to run out a little bit of gas. Oh, man.
Melvin Scott fouled on the attempt.
Don't want to foul a jump shooter.
Not like that. Anyway, going back to Penn State, Brad, what do you do if you're head coach Jerry Dunn right now? You're down big time, 68-42, about 10 minutes to go. What are you trying to accomplish for the rest of the game here?
Well, like I say, there's a lot of time in this basketball game, Mark. I mean, there's almost 11 minutes in this game, and you break it down into segments, there's a lot of possessions left. I still think you have time in the next 2 or 3 minutes to establish something that's going to be fruitful for you over the last 2 or 3 minutes of the game. But the problem that they're having is that it's a shot here, a shot there, a turnover here, a turnover there, and there's no consistency. So Coach Jerry Dunn's sitting here saying to myself, okay, I'm going to put the ball in Watkins' hands. Maybe he can make some things happen, but if he's the only guy doing that, you run out of time.
Scott makes the second free throw, and the score is 69-42. Timeout on the floor, and Rashad McCants making a very propitious beginning here at Chapel Hill. More to come in just a minute. We're back at the Owens Corning preseason NIT first round action between the Penn State Nittany Lions and North Carolina Tar Heels. It has been all North Carolina baby blue the whole way through. 10:29 to play in the second half. I'm Mark Jones along with Brad Doherty courtside. And so far, Rashad McCants is just 5 points off of Carmelo Anthony's very auspicious beginning for Syracuse a few nights ago.
He's played really well, and you look at Raymond Felton, 10 assists with only 3 turnovers in a very fast-paced basketball game.
And number 1 in Carolina debuts for freshman Joe Forte at 27 points. Watkins looking inside to the big fella, Yagla.
He's got to go up. Nowhere to go.
Watkins. Yagla battling inside.
Very nice. Very nice. Good catch. Kept the ball up high. Good rebound.
Yagla put in a lot of minutes over the summer playing with the German junior national team. Working on his strength. Here's Williams on the baseline.
Keep that ball moving.
Scott goes inside to May. Boy, so poised to the post. Got the ball squared up. Like you said, his footwork is impeccable.
Yeah, he keeps his feet underneath him. His feet's under him all the time, so his balance is just awesome for a big kid, and he's never off balance.
He has 15 points. Agakazi fouled inside by Jawad Williams.
Sean May just does a good job of catching the basketball. He's got great balance. Look at this balance. I mean, he's square. He's nice and square. His feet are not out of position. Even when he goes up to shoot the ball, his shoulders turn to the basket. He's so square and he's so big, he's able to utilize his strength very well.
Now, you mentioned the word big. He's 6'9", goes about 250, but he may be growing. I'm talking vertically, okay, not horizontally.
Yeah.
Because you look at the size of his shoes. He wears a size 20.
Size 20.
Those are some skates.
He's got to grow into those things. I'm going to tell you right
He's
now.
got some dogs. 272.
272. He's a big young man.
I had yesterday's program.
He's a big young man. If he's got size 20s,
71.
he just carries himself so well. I mean, he moves effortlessly, and you know, he's missed some early time because of knee injuries.
McCants fouled on his way to the bucket. Sean May still getting his fitness level to where he wants it to be. The McDonald's All-American Player of the Year in Indiana.
I mean, we got to give him some credit. He's a big person. I mean, you know, he's not going to be 230 pounds. You know, he's 250, 260 pounds probably playing weight. And he's got a little bit to go, but he's in good shape. I'm not saying he's in bad shape, none whatsoever. He's
tricky backdoor pass on that attempt. Our regional coverage of the Owens Corning Preseason NIT continues on ESPN2 at 9:15 Eastern. Boston University takes on Stanford. Great chance to take a look at 6'10", 275-pound sophomore Rob Little, the Owens Corning Preseason NIT on ESPN2. He's replacing Cordes Borchard, who bolted early and was subsequently injured.
Oh, nice
move right now. Nice move inside by
Nice
Watkins.
move. Woo. Watkins just keeps playing. He's a water bug down there. Just keeps looking for an angle to get to that basket.
A little bit of a nervous cheer now coming over the faithful and the denizens here at the D.E. Smith Center. And it's interesting how last year it was a total opposite of the prior season when Matt Doherty won 26 games in his inaugural season here. The Love Fest was on in earnest. Last year kind of turned around a little bit on him, and he admitted to the folks after last year, Brad, he said, you know what, I maybe could have used another year of seasoning before taking this job, but you know what, he's glad he got into the fire anyway.
Well, and it's a tough situation. I mean, the year before Matt comes in and does a great job. Last year, things go sideways, and so, you know, I was here this summer, was at basketball camp, did some of those things, and it was a tough environment to be in. But I tell you, Matt is very resilient. He is committed to getting this program to the highest of levels, and we're all behind him. I hope he doesn't. I'm very pleased with what I see right now. He's got kids he wants, but you got to remember, this is a rebuilding year for this basketball program.
The youngest team in Carolina history. Egakazi, meanwhile, fouling out. Penn State trying to extend this defense a little bit. Now they back off. Felton out top.
We got to remember, Mark, this is the youngest team in college basketball, period.
6 freshmen on the roster.
That's incredible.
For Matt Doherty.
That's incredible.
Kind of helps to have somebody on the bench, Brad, who understands the lineage and the history here of young players coming in.
Absolutely, absolutely. Look at that makeup. 6 freshmen, 3 sophomores, three junior walk-ons, and you have 2 seniors. 6 freshmen who are going to play significant amount of minutes this year.
One of the issues is you better get a good look at them because you never know how long they might stick around.
I hate to even talk about that. That's the truth, though. I mean,
that's the trend in college basketball.
Exactly right. That's what makes it so hard to be at one of these jobs like that. Nice move.
Watkins skipping through the Carolina defense.
That cannot happen. You can't let him get to the basket that easily. You know, your defense can't become porous. And this is a good test. They're up, 21 points. So now, all of a sudden, are you going to start slacking off? What's your mindset? Great learning experience for these young guys.
McDougal, good pressure out front. He comes up with a pinch. It's a 2-on-1. Chambliss and Watkins who goes to the cup.
Felton's got to step in there and take that charge. Got to take that charge.
And Doherty calls a timeout. Not happy with what he's seeing right now from North Carolina. Watkins, meanwhile, with 22 points for Penn State. The lead down to 20. This is as close as they've been in a long time.
Oh, absolutely. Brandon Watkins, though, he's just playing excellent. Look at that. Steps through. Nice touch. Finishes in front of the basket. I mean, look at this. Where's everybody at? You better get over there. You got to get over there and stop that ball.
Jerry Dunn said from baseline to baseline, there might not be a better basketball player in the Big Ten Conference.
And he is right. I am really impressed with Brandon Watkins. Has a great nose for the basketball, very competitive. And, I mean, he's carrying his team on his back right now. He needs a little help.
In the midst of a 16-3 run in the last 5.5 minutes, led mostly by Brandon Watkins. It's interesting how sometimes as a team, so much hype here, so much anticipation for Carolina and their fans. You come out with so much emotion. Sometimes it does have a tendency to recede a little bit.
Sustainability, that's what we talk about. This is a great start for this basketball team. Everybody's jacked up, jumping out of the gym. Time goes on, it wears on you. And as their season goes on, it's going to wear on them. That's when you'll find out what they're made of when they're about 10 games into their season.
And they turn it over again here out of the timeout. Didn't even get a shot off. Here's Watkins calling out the play for the Nittany Lions.
A little ragged right now for the Tar Heels. But Penn State stepped it up a little bit.
Chambliss off the screen. A little bit of a flex cut, and they almost turn it over.
Look how far
on the shot clock. And Watkins makes it an 18-3 run.
Wait a minute, guard him. He's coming up. He's going to create a little pressure at half court. 18-3 run.
Watkins starting to do it himself. Telling his teammates, get aboard. Ride my back.
Tough shot. Felton, not a good shot.
A little bit early in the shot clock. Chambliss on the push to Yagla, and is picked off. Manuel, of course, hustle.
Great hustle by Jackie Manuel. Felton did a good job getting back, trying to knock that ball away. He took a very tough shot, though. Don't go away from your offense. It's what you practice every day. Go through it till you find a hole.
Felton getting a high screen from Williams. May working hard inside, trying to seal Yagla.
Good job by Yagla, getting in front. He's 7 feet tall.
Hey, just leaning on him, too.
It'll be tough to pass over.
On the baseline, McCants off to Felton.
Nice pass.
Wide open. They were patient, but they couldn't pay it off. Rebound inside by Williams, and a tricky pass out of bounds.
Boy, Yagla, just his presence in that lane kept Williams from going up with that shot.
Hey, Jerry Dunn's crew, folks, creeping back into this one, down 18 with 5:49 to go. The Nittany Lions trying to bring back history when they defeated this team a couple of years ago. Coach D just still sweating it out. We'll be back. Well, the meter on Jerry Dunn, the head coach of Penn State, running a little bit hot right now. So is his team. Creeping back into this one with 5:49 to go in the second half. I'm Mark Jones along with Brad Doherty here at the D.E. Smith Center. First round action in the Owens Corning preseason NIT. McCants.
Good play, couldn't finish it.
Challenged by Yagla, but he got the jump on him on the putback. He has 24.
That's the first basket in over 4 minutes for North Carolina.
Chambliss maybe forcing that one a little bit. Way early in the shot clock.
Yeah, he should have got to take his time.
Felton takes it back out. Manuel. What a move.
Wow, what a move by Jackie Manuel. Boy, that's a great timeout. And North Carolina's taking advantage of that timeout and really regrouped, and they come back with that zest once again.
Manuel initially had some adjustment problems to the college game, but seems to have solved them during the summertime.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's Watkins. All Carolina on the glass. Felton looking for the hit ahead. Manuel. Nice beat to me.
Nice pass. Good unselfish basketball.
May with 17.
Good timeout.
After the timeout by Carolina, they respond in kind, and so do the fans.
Okay.
Sean May leading the way along with Felton and McCants.
I mean, he's just played a great game. Such a smart player. I want you to look at the head up right here. Raymond Felton's got this basketball. Look at him. He doesn't look at the ball, doesn't look down. He sees everyone up ahead of the play. That's a sign of a real savvy basketball player, point guard especially, who sees what's happening ahead of him.
You know, Felton, not only do they make premature maybe comparisons to Phil Ford, but he's a student of Carolina basketball history. They asked him his favorite player in Carolina history. Phil Ford.
Absolutely. I'm surprised he didn't say me. I was a little disappointed in that.
We'll work on that.
I'll let him slide today.
It is preseason.
But, you know, his passes are up the court, Mark. Nothing's parallel. Nothing's, you know, straight across. It's all up the court. You like that, advancing all the time.
Yeah, that's one of the wills and ills, actually, in college basketball right now. Guys like to pat it too much out front.
Yeah,
he doesn't.
The pass to nowhere.
Out of bounds, it'll be Carolina ball. Folks, our regional coverage of the Owens Corning preseason NIT continuing on ESPN2. Coming up next, Boston University takes on Stanford. Some viewers in areas of Illinois and Idaho. We'll see Eastern Illinois against Boise State. The Owens Corning preseason NIT on ESPN2. Stanford not used to having guys like Casey Jacobson of Phoenix and Borchard of the Jazz leaving early.
Yep, that's exactly right.
So catch-22 when you have a successful program.
Well, it's a good-looking shot. I mean, you know, Jamal Tate was wide open. And he gets a good look. And you got to shoot that shot. You make it, and hopefully get a little run going. They've just been knocked back on the heels a little bit again there by North Carolina.
Doherty going to run a little bit of clock here. We're here in Chapel Hill. I'm Mark Jones along with Brad Doherty. First round action in the Owens Corning preseason NIT. The precocious freshman tonight with a total of 54 points. Talking about Felton, May, and McCants. Good defense out top by Penn State.
What's interesting about McCants is he wears the number 32, which is the reverse of Michael Jordan, who's I guess his favorite player. But as I was talking with our producer earlier, that's the old Dr. J number. So it's come full circle. You know, the Doc's back in style, the 32, man.
Well, your producer, Kim Belton, you and yours truly here, a little bit of that older genre. We're a different demographic now, Brad.
Well, you guys are, man. I'm young. You and Kim are old cats, man. I'm young cat.
McCants, the McDonald's Player of the Year, two-time New Hampshire Player of the Year, where he prepped. He's got some good idols. Meanwhile, Manuel with 15 points makes the first of two.
Rashad McCants, the pride of lovely Asheville, North Carolina, the most beautiful city in all of the world.
Sense a little bias coming your way, Brad. 8 of 8 from the free throw line. And we have a timeout. It's all Carolina blue. We'll be right back. We are back in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. North Carolina leading Penn State 79-53 with 3:31 to go here in the second half. I'm Mark Jones along with Brad Doherty. There's a look at head coach Matt Doherty in his third year as head coach here. A look at our ESPN2 game track. The freshman for Carolina accounting for a total of 54 points. The big three, McCants, May, and Felton, a total of 50. They set the tone early, which has led to Carolina's success in the ballgame. McCants to Williams.
That's good unselfish basketball. Nice pass by McCants. Good block by Sean May. That started the whole play. Good unselfish basketball.
They've done it at both ends of the floor. So many times you see freshmen get hype coming into a new class, coming into a new program, and sometimes they live up to it, sometimes they don't. But early indications here are that these guys are all that and then some.
Absolutely. Very talented. I'm really impressed. I hate to put a lot of pressure on freshmen, but boy, these cats are mature. Nice block.
Candace rejected. Here's McCants to the easy way. He has 26. One off of the freshman record debut.
Wow. What a play. And Emmanuel makes a great block out on the defender. 22 feet from the basket.
Meanwhile, Coach Doherty on the sidelines. Was that a smile I saw?
I tell you, I haven't seen a smile in a year.
Thiago off the mark.
Awesome.
Here they come again in waves. McCants with the hammer.
Man, I mean, they're going to come at you.
They're just going bling, bling.
Wow. They are going to come at you.
Since that Doherty timeout, they have gone on a 14-0 run.
And let's remember, Mark, this is one basketball game. It's the first one.
Albeit a very impressive one.
It's very impressive. There will be a second one. There will be a third and a fourth. So let's see how they do over the long haul.
Watkins missing inside. Have to be impressed with the way that May has controlled the glass.
I mean, he's done a great job.
He's instinctively looking up court, too.
I'm telling you, he's another one of those guys that looks up court with the basketball.
9 rebounds.
And he's blocked several shots. How many block shots does May have? I mean, he's got 2 block shots.
Yeah, wholesale substitution now.
Good to see.
Well, what used to be a contentious relationship between the team and their fans is now a love affair once again.
That's awesome. That's awesome. There's a lot of smiles in this building tonight.
Smiles and two-handed dunks for everybody.
Coach Doherty's smiling. Everybody's smiling.
He's saying, what am I going to tell these guys I did wrong tomorrow in practice?
But I can't yell at these guys. They play too well.
85-53.
Wow.
28, 17,
awesome.
and 9.
That is awesome.
Total of 64.
They can just
Freshman. Felton also with 10 dimes in the ball game.
if they can thicken up the bench, get a little play out of the bench and a little experience out of their bench, it's going to really make this a good team.
Hey, don't be fooled. Somewhere in the research triangle tonight, there are a couple of coaches, either head coaches or assistant coaches, down the road at Duke and at North Carolina State that are getting a pretty serious look and taking note of what's happening here in Chapel Hill. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Tuesday night, Kevin Frazier, Sean Elliott, Tim Lightfoot, bringing you a full slate of NBA games with exclusive in-progress highlights and news. See live action from 8 NBA games tomorrow night. It's the NBA Fast Break, Tuesday on ESPN2 at 9 Eastern. Well, these guys earned their run tonight.
I'm telling you, man, these guys are freshmen. They're going to get up and go to class tomorrow. They're going to be feeling good. Everybody's going to be patting them on the back.
Meanwhile, pitcher frustration on the bench for Penn State.
Well, I think Penn State goes back and they take from this that they've got to get some offensive help for Watkins. He's had to do it all. And, you know, I think they still have an opportunity to have a successful season. It's a very young basketball team, just like North Carolina. And they've got some good building blocks. So if Ekakisi can stay in the game and build on his post play and, you know, we can get some help down low, I think that this team could be very formidable coming into the year.
North Carolina going to take on their next opponent Wednesday. Here's Scott driving into the lane. Little drive and dish off the mark. Nice work inside by Sanders.
Good rebound by Sanders. Like I say, he's gonna be a big part of this team this year.
Cameron kicks it inside. Summers finishes. Robert Summers, the freshman, with his first deuce. And this one's in the books. The final score, 85-55. Brad Doherty's team coming out in very convincing fashion in their first game of the season. The freshmen leading the way, Felton, May, and McCants. They advance to the next round on Wednesday, and we'll be there to cover it. 85-55, the final score. Right now we go back to the studio, and Reese Davis, boy, the freshmen bringing home some good report cards on opening night.
And after a little bit of a shaky start in that exhibition game, they certainly were impressive. A 30-point victory for North Carolina. They advanced into the second round of the Owens Corning preseason NIT. And Digger, certainly they look terrific. It's been a theme throughout the night. The home team getting the blowout. Xavier, number 11 in the land against St. Peter's. This is David West down low. Musketeers up 41-22. Here's West again.
You love West. He's really a solid player, can go one-on-one anytime.
Talking long term here. That was key.